Hey everyone, Shane Malika here with Phyxius Power Building. So thanks for joining this week's episode. This week we are continuing what we talked about last week regarding the bicep workout, but this time we're going to be switching gears, going over to resistance bands instead. So again, resistance bands, great method of uh, increasing strength and size, doing all those things. Again, I love the resistance bands because pretty much anything I can find at the gym, I can use those resistance bands for. They don't limit me like some other things do, like some other modalities. So quick review regarding the anatomy of the biceps before we get into the actual workout itself or workout suggestions. So let me share my screen here, just make sure that we're all set up. There we go. All right, so remember biceps, two heads, long head, short head. Remember that long head attaches all the way up into the glenoid, so it crosses that shoulder joint versus the short head, which attaches to the coracoid process right in front. Remember, no matter what, as we discussed last week, if you bend your elbows, you are engaging both of those, all right, to one extent or another. Changing the position of the shoulder will engage the long head of the bicep a little bit more, especially if you go back into extension. Going into flexion with your arm will engage a little bit more of the short head, but they're both being worked. The brachialis, brachioradialis. Again, those are forearm muscles that a lot of times people try to emphasize. Again, the fact that they are crossing the elbow joint means that if you flex your elbow, you are working them to, again, one extent or another. Changing the position of your forearm is going to dictate how much you're engaging them. All right. So again, even a simple bicep curl with dumbbells or the band, as we're going to show, is going to work all of those muscles to one extent or another. Then if we change our hand positions or shoulder position, then we can emphasize other muscle groups a little bit more. But no matter what, they're all being engaged. So don't get paranoid on, am I doing enough of this one or that one? Everything is being worked. All right. Remember, it's your time under tension. Failing in the rep range that you're setting for yourself, all right, those are what's going to really dictate your gains, not how extravagant or exotic your exercises are. All right, so let's get into this here a little bit. All right, so again, we're just going to be using an exercise band today, nothing big. Again, I love these exercise bands. You can get them all over the place right now. Undersun Fitness is a great one. I'll link to them below. Along with some of the others, such as Buff Dudes. If you ever seen their videos, they're great. Check them out. Buff Dudes are on YouTube. They got 7 years worth of videos. They're very entertaining, but they give a lot of good information for people. Another good one. And then if you look at also online at Iron Infidel, that's where I got mine. They have bands that, their set goes from 30 pounds all the way up to 150 pounds worth of resistance, which is great. Especially if you double that up, you can go all the way up to 300 if you really wanted to. So just got a band here right now. All I'm going to do is step on it. You can't see that because it's out of shot, but it's just going to simulate. And actually, I'm going to change the angle just a little bit. You might see my dog in here, but that's okay. So I'm just standing on the band. It's just going to simulate that standing bicep curl that we did last week with the dumbbell. So all I'm going to do from here, again, keeping my elbows at my sides, bend them up all the way, and then back down. And me personally, when I use the bands, I tend to feel like I get a better pump out of it. Like, afterwards, those muscles, they just feel really nice and tight. I also don't get the elbow discomfort or even pain like I sometimes do with the dumbbells or barbells. So again, if I keep my palms forward, definitely gain that long and short head. Again, brachialis, brachioradialis are still going to be activated. But then if I were to turn my palms so they're facing each other and doing the same motion, almost like a hammer curl, I'd get a little bit more of that brachioradialis. But again, remember, elbows stay right at the side. Don't let them come forward. Some people will do what's called a drag curl with a barbell, where they'll let their elbows come back as they drag their arm or hands up their sides. You could consider that too with the band. It's a nice way of getting a little bit of that short head involvement. All right. So again, with the band, palms forward, can just still be that simple elbow flexion, getting all those muscles, or you could have your hands facing together And as you can see, remember your cadence, right? 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Get that full range of motion if you can. From there, you could utilize the band, all right, with, either on the other side of the door, or I have a stopper here, or a door anchor. I'm going to put this in here. Right now, remember, if you're using a door anchor or going to be using the door, make sure that when you shut the door, it's shutting towards you. Again, you've seen all those epic fail videos where the door suddenly opens because the door is closing away from them, and they end up on their rear ends, all right? So we can simulate the incline dumbbell curl that we were doing last week, all right? So in this one, and I actually like this as well, and again, a lot of times I will do quite a bit with bands for the arms because I feel also engages a little bit of the core because I'm standing up. I don't have the bench supporting me. So I'm just going to get a slightly staggered stance, and this time I'm going to have my upper arm facing the door knob in this case, all right? And from here, kind of a short space, I'm just going to simply bend my elbow while keeping the upper arm back. So now, if you were to take me here and just put me back in that inclined position as if I was laying on a bench, it's simulating the exact same motion. And the fact that the long head of the bicep is being in a stretched position all the way back, it's going to be emphasized just a little bit more. And if you wanted to, you could start with your palms forward, and as you come forward, rotate them. Again, remember your cadence through all this. And sometimes I will actually give myself some proprioceptive input along the abdominal, the core region, to make sure it's being activated as I'm doing this. And then you can just switch sides from there. So that's a good way, again, of emphasizing the long head of the bicep. If I want to put a little bit more emphasis on that short head, again, remember, I'm still engaging everything, but a little bit more emphasis on that short head, I can simulate preacher curls or spider curls with the band in this exact same position. So facing the band, facing the door itself, this time my upper arms are going to be forward. And the fact that they're forward like this, the upper arm is forward, means that the long head of the bicep is going to be in a shortened or a little bit more of a relaxed position. So it's going to put more emphasis on the short head. The long head's still going to get it. And remember, that short head is the one where it kind of gives you that nice peak in the bicep that I know all the guys are looking for, all right? So again, keeping my upper arms facing the doorknob or facing them forward, pulling up, and back forward. And you can see my upper arms are not changing position throughout. And the fact that I'm standing up and I don't have a bench supporting me means I have to engage my lumbar muscles, my abdominal muscles a little bit more in order to maintain this position. And I also get some shoulder scapular stability with this as well, because I don't have that bench supporting me. All right. So again, remember, changing that shoulder position, changing the forearm position can make a big difference in your workout. Also, you'll see a lot of great exercises out there, a lot of ones that are a little bit more exotic, a little bit more complicated. My thing when it comes to the bicep, let me get it more in line, guys. Keeping it basic, keeping it simple, all right? Making small changes, small modifications tends to work the best, all right? Remember, I know it's not sexy, but remember your cadence. Remember what your rep ranges are. Remember, you're looking to fail between the rep range that you've selected for yourself based on what your goals are, all right? Go slow, keep it methodical. Slow is strong. And if you're an athlete, I get it. Sometimes you want to do things faster, more ballistic, but guess what? Slow is strong, and strong can be fast as well, all right? So you're still going to get that transfer over to athletic movement, even if you're going slow, all right? You put a lot more tension on those muscles, on those tendons, which will make them stronger over time and make you less susceptible for injury by using that slower cadence. All right, so thanks for joining this week. I appreciate it. Remember to check out our other videos. We got quite a few going on at this point with different workouts and different types of concepts that we're talking about here. Going to be doing some other things in the future regarding nutrition, recipes, some of the different diets out there, the popular ones. So please keep tuning in. Click that like button, hit the subscribe if you want to. And remember, struggle is strength. So let's get that struggle on. All right, guys? Talk to you later.